Welcome everyone who's just joining. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. Before we get started, please click on interpretation and choose either the English or the Chinese channel. Welcome everyone. It's just now the top of the hour. We're going to give it another minute here before we get started. But for those who have just joined us, if you would please click on the link for interpretation and choose either the English or Chinese channel so that you can hear all of the content and questions. We'll get started in just another minute.
John, I've just had a comment from somebody that they can't find this translation button. Just to point out, it's at the bottom of the screen in the toolbar.
Depends on which version of Zoom you have. It's either on the toolbar or it could be under the category of more. And then in there you can see interpretation. It depends on what device you're on and if you have Google or Chrome or whatnot. So, but there should be if it's on the toolbar, it looks like a globe. Under the word more, it just says interpretation. All right, we're going to get started in the interest of time. And again, I want to welcome you all to the 14th Vanitec Energy Storage Committee webinar. Hard to believe we've had 14 of these already. We have a great lineup for you today, including over 200 folks registered to join us. We know that many people will go and review this afterwards. We will post the entire webinar and the slides to our Vanitec website after the webinar ends. I would ask that at the end of this, you please stay on for 30 seconds. There's a quick survey for you to fill out. It doesn't take long to give us your feedback on the webinar today, as well as your thoughts and ideas on future webinar topics. I am John Hilbert, the CEO of Vanitec Limited. Again, thank you all for being here. For those who have just joined, please make sure you select interpretation and choose a channel, either English or Chinese, so that you can hear any and all comments, questions, and presentations in the language of your choice. If you don't choose that, you may not hear a translation back from our Chinese members or any comments or questions from Chinese panelists. So I'm going to get started here and just briefly first remind you, tell you all that this webinar is governed by Vanitec's antitrust policy. You don't need to worry about reading all of this. Just note these couple of big things, that the panelists here are only going to be talking about pricing if in terms of historical pricing. No discussions about future pricing, the effects of historical data on current or future prices. I will be monitoring the things. All of the presentations have been reviewed in advance before this, so we shouldn't have any problems during this call at all. Again, to the agenda for today, we're going to have a quick welcome from the new Vanitec ESC chair, and then she'll go through some background on Vanitec and our Energy Storage Committee very briefly, and then we'll have the exciting launch of our new vanadium flow battery visual identity and logo. We are now, as an organization, and all of our members, referring to the battery as the vanadium flow battery, not VRFB anymore. We'll have a presentation on the progress in China for vanadium flow batteries, an update, as always, on the market including how installations are coming against the guidehouse forecast that we released a few years ago. Great presentation on the carbon footprint of our battery versus lithium ion, and then we'll close it up with that brief 30-second survey at the end. So I'm going to turn things over to Samantha to introduce herself and Vanitec ESC.
Hi everyone, my name is Sam McGowan. I am chair of the Vanitec Energy Storage Committee, and I also work for Australian Vanadium, which is bringing a vanadium project into production and working on downstream battery activities, hence the interest in the ESC. So Vanitec is here to expand markets for vanadium, and this particular committee is focused on that in the battery space. So Vanitec is a not-for-profit global organisation, and its members include all the world's major vanadium producers, users, and those that are involved in the energy storage side of things. And they get technical, market development, and health and safety issues all looked at. And you can put forward suggestions for things that you might like the organisation to look at. This is all our members around the world. You'll see there's quite a lot of people, but there's still room for a few more. So we're hoping some more people will be able to join us. We'll talk about that in a minute. So there are 3 different committees in Vanitec. There's the Energy Storage Committee, which is what this webinar is for. Market Development Committee. So there's a little bit of overlap there because obviously markets are energy storage, steel, aerospace, defence, all the other different uses of vanadium. And then there's the Health, Safety and Environment Committee, who sort of have an overarching health and safety aspect to things. And then with John's and Yuli's work, administrating that, doing the finance of the meetings. So this is just a little bit about the membership process for Vanitec. So you have producers, which are, if they're actually producing, you can join as a full member. Associate members are either 2 sorts. If you're going to produce or convert vanadium in the future, you become an associate member at 1 level. And if you're not planning to produce, you can become an associate member at another level. For the Energy Storage Committee membership, what we really like you to do is to try to share some information with us so that we can then grow that market and get that information out to the global community. There's a little, this is the best bit of this. There's an introductory first-year fee at the moment. So any vanadium flow battery companies, we really want you to come and join the committee to help us drive the direction we're going in. So it's only 2,500. Is that US, John? Probably
that's US dollars, yes.
Yeah, for vanadium flow battery companies. So hopefully we'll get some more people joining after this.
Great, thank you, Sam. So we're going to get right into it and turn it over to Gabrielle from LIFA Communications to release our new visual identity and, as I said, the new terminology that we will always use as vanadium flow battery.
Thank you so much, John. It's good to be here today.